main article I'm going to talk about is interracial marriage. I focus on this article because I think it involves interesting notions of what it means to be black, and I find this to be connected with important issues of identity and African culture. I will now summarize Anita Allen's argument and highlight important points as well as make connections to other readings. Anita's main goal is to examine blacks' perspective of interracial marriage. This is the perspective of some blacks, but not all. She claims that women are especially troubled by marriage between blacks and whites, and I find this to be an interesting statement. Mill actually elaborates on it. He states, the traditional race gender status hierarchy in the United States is structured basically as white man, white woman, black man, and black woman. Looking at this statement, I would agree that blacks have a special obligation to seek black mates. However, this special obligation would be concerning black males in this case. Now I'm going to talk about segregation. Black people tend to live segregated lives, causes them to share a black community. I would add that although they might share segregated lives, this does not mean that the community shares one culture. However, I do agree that people who have been in the States longer do share a similar identity or a similar culture. But the question I'm concerned with here is, what does it mean to belong to the black community? Allen focuses on three very general moral imperatives that appear to lie behind the disapproval of our marriage. The first one is respect and care for your community of origin. My concern with this is, what exactly is your community of origin? Is there only one way to identify yourself to the community? What if, for example, your community of origin is from South Africa? Then isn't this argument implying that you should marry someone who shares a similar culture or similar identity as you? Will I then be part of my community? Number two, respect and care for your family and friends. I think this also presupposes that there is one way to be black and that the black community shares one culture. Because of the interracial unions, family and friends assume that the cultural outsider will want to embrace his or her spouse. Here, motivations of such unions should be questioned, but family and friends do not take into consideration the union view of love. Respect and care for yourself. Number three. This reinforces the idea that you should marry someone inside your cultural circle, which I have argued is not identically the same for all peoples of Africa.